What's going on YouTube? It's Donnie B all day, and it was a crazy day all day because I made a video of this knife, right? I did it earlier, and then I accidentally erased it before I could do anything with it. So I had to redo it. So I already went outside and pushed it through some wood. There's not going to be much going on. It's going to be fairly quick once the video gets out there, because I already did it today, and it was driving me crazy that I had to go back. So here's the thing. I was talking to a fellow YouTuber, Texas Edge. Texas Edge was talking about how he started collecting knives back in the 80s, and started talking, we were kind of going back and forth for a little bit, and that's when I started collecting knives too. And the reason I started collecting knives was because I saw the movie Rambo, and you guys have definitely seen this knife in my hand before. And since the movie came out and this knife was produced, it was made originally by Jimmy Lyle, and then copies came out everywhere, but they didn't look like this. When the original copies came out, they did not look like this one. This is a great copy. It's, aside from the cheaper materials, it's near exact replica of the Jimmy Lyle knives. But when that came out, every knife maker in the world started making these cheap style Rambo knives, right? These survival knives is what they were called, and that's why we have survival knives the way we do right now. Like everything, oh, it's a survival knife, survival knife, survival knife. It came because Rambo's knife was made. It was the first blood knife, and when companies started copying them, they called them survival knives. And generally, they had a black handle that was kind of bulbous, and they had this round end cap on the end. And you guys who remember them, you'll know them well. Had this big round end cap, and you unscrewed it, and you had your compass on the inside. And true to tradition, there's still a compass on the inside. Does it work well? North. It works well. So if I open up the First Blood, the Jimmy Lyle remake, just like it, there's a compass in the end. And what's this compass say? It's moving around north. So that works out. And pretty much everyone who's anyone since this who has done a survival knife has made a knife similar to that with a compass. Just like my homemade one. And where's north? North. So it's all the same. Oh, and by the way, I ended up doing a sheath for mine, and it's really blurry. But I did a sheath, and now it wears really well. I can take it anywhere. I got the leg straps. I made it a high-rise sheath, so it takes just this jersey, covers it completely. So I can literally wear this out in public, and it's completely hidden. This thing's awesome. I took part of a sheath from a Braveheart sword, a cheap Braveheart sword, and just made the sheath for this. Best part is it's ambidextrous. So if I go gun hand, I can do that. Oh, and I'm not holding it. I'm not pinching it or anyway. It holds in really well. It's like it's made for this. But awesome. Works out really good. So if I have a gun on the left, I can put this on my right and spin it around. If I'm just carrying a knife, then that's it. I put it so I can wear it on my left side. Awesome. So that's that. But survival knife. So Texas Edge and I were chatting, and it got me all nostalgic and thinking about this knife. And so I was like, oh man, I had one sitting, and I got this thing at Harbor Freight, $9.99, guys, $9 freaking $9.99. So my initial thinking is, I'm spending $9.99. I'm about to get the biggest piece of crap on the market. So and going back, I'm doing a whole lot of rewinding here. See, in the first video, I actually had this all set up. The old ones, it was a bulbous handle, bulbous black handle, big, huge, round, screwable pommel with the thing in there, and then the end was a rat tail, and it had a nut inside, and it was really, really horribly done, and it took about 8 seconds of actual usage before the nut came loose. This one does not have that issue. As you can see in there, the tang sticks out a little bit. It comes through the knife, and you can see the part where next to the flashlight, that little weird spot in there, that's where the screw goes into the actual tang. So you can see the tang there. It's not a nut like those old school cheap ones. And still, even though it's not, I figured because it only comes in, about that far, I couldn't see it being that strong chopping. I was surprised. This thing handled pretty well. So now, like all survival knives, you have a little bit of survival kit. When they're done right, they come like this in a little tube, right? And sometimes they're even spring loaded. I think my Rambo 2 is spring loaded, so it's right there at the end when you pull it out. This one, you have 4 inches before you reach that tang inside the well. This thing's about 1.5 inches. So they could have given you a better kit. This kit sucks. This is not a true survival kit. However, if this is all you have, you're gonna thank your lucky stars that you have it. It's not good, but it's not a waste of having. You know what I mean? There's still some things in there that you can use. There is an O-ring right here, to keep it water resistant. But it's not going to be completely waterproof. I don't think. I mean, who knows? Maybe this I didn't dunk it yet, but you can see that there's nothing here. However, right here is still the space. Well, there's no spaces, but water could eventually seep through. So my guess is that, and this is going to be a pretty easy guess, if I walk in the rain, first of all, 100%, there's no water getting inside. If I jump into the water, get completely submerged, and jump back out of the water, I can pretty much guarantee 100% no water is going to get in here. However, if I walk through water, and I'm waist deep and this thing is submerged, I can't be 100% sure that water isn't either going to leak up through here or down through here somewhere. No idea. I didn't bathe myself outside because it's winter and it's cold, and well, I'm a sissy. Not gonna happen. So what do you get for $10.99 or $9.99 at Harbor Freight? You get your big lanyard type holes, your tie down holes, so you can make spears and things like that. You have your little kit. You have your weirdly stretchy lanyard on the end. You have a saw that really works. Very good saw. You have an edge that cuts. You have a knife that chops. You have this knurled area right here, and but the knurling is like barely knurled. I don't know if I can get. Yeah, you can see it. But turning in the hand, you can feel it, but it doesn't provide any stability. So what I could do is do a thread wrap on here, or I could do a tape or a rubber, anything like that to add grip, because when you hit, and you'll see it later, it turns in the hand when you're chopping. So the first hit's going to hit, second it's going to eventually, and then it does that, and you don't want that. So however, I explained to you in this video that for $9.99, if you're stuck somewhere and you were going on a hiking weekend, and all of a sudden maybe you had a car breakdown, and you can get to town from your hiking spot and there's a Harbor Freight, but you need to stay outside, you don't have a hotel, and you're going to end up tent in it or whatever, and you need to build yourself a campfire, you walk into Harbor Freight with 10 bucks, you walk out with one of these, this is going to be enough knife to carry you through until you can get your car fixed and get back on the road. I can tell you that right now. Is it a great knife? Is it a true survival knife? I'm not going to say all that, but I'm going to tell you this, for 10 bucks, it's more than most $12 knives, but it's actually pretty good. Now, the one thing I was displeased, I guess you could say, with is look at that tip. The tip is flat. That didn't happen from testing. That's how it came. Maybe it's just, you know, there are going to be imperfections in certain ones. They're $9.99, so they might not all be completely flawless. This one just happened to have a flat tip. Can I fix it? Hell yeah, that would be crazy easy. Do I need to? Not really. It still goes through whatever it needs to go through. So there's no markings on a blade. It's an 8-inch blade, but I'm guessing it's 440. I was hitting it pretty hard into some wood earlier. I have nothing going on with it. It's a hollow grind. I took no chips, no real dulling. So I'm guessing that it's 440. It should sharpen really easy, you know, once I dull it, because as it is right now, I don't need to do anything to it except clean off all that sap. But what I'm going to do is, instead of, you know, wasting time sitting here just yabbering on, I'm going to show you the second video. Since I erased the first one accidentally, I'm going to show you what I did. I went outside and just gave it a couple quick shots to show you that the thing can actually take a little bit of a beating and zero wobble. That was impressive. So let's take this thing outside and end this video properly. Hold on now. So I guess this is take 2. All right, so what I'm going to do is what I did before that you guys couldn't see. I'm going to start with some 4-foot drops to show you guys what the balance looked like. And even though it's a hollow handle blade, it falls really well, mainly because all the weight is right here in the front. So we're going to do a couple hard downward throws. Snap. It has really, really, really good bite, even for having that blunt tip. Bam. So that wasn't so bad. I did some light prying. Remember, it is a hollow handle survival, so you don't want to go crazy on that. It's still nice and tight. Everything's where it should be. You can see all the sap on the blade because I gave it a pretty good use earlier. But right now, we're just going to go through it since I already did it. I tried a push cut before, and I noticed as I pushed down, nothing happened. But as soon as I went forward, just like that, all that came loose. And look at how clean that cut is. So that was kind of impressive. It wasn't shave sharp. However, the nylon rope, it breezed right through. That was kind of crazy. I didn't expect that after I tried the shave sharpness test when I originally did it. So that was something. I can't believe I'm doing this twice. All right, hold on now. Feel like I'm having the weirdest case of deja vu here. It's like I was just doing this. Oh, wait, I was. All right, so let's go back over here. And we had, you remember, I had some trees fall in my yard. Well, all yesterday, we had winds range around, 30 miles an hour. Blew down a bunch of trees around town, and it took out some telephone poles and whatnot. So I'm gonna walk around this side. You guys are gonna come with me. It's a knife review, so I'll just show you how the knife walks in the air. That's pretty good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come over here. We don't have too many places to rest the camera right now, so I'm just gonna hold you up in the air. We're gonna tackle this. Now, one thing, because it's a round handle, it's pretty hard to maintain control of the thing from spinning around. But it chops. And it actually chops pretty well if you can hold it. You can see when I come down on it, it wants to turn. And I'm not going to hit it from up here where I could get better balance on that because I'm not going to chop as good. So I need to hold it at the end. The problem is that's where I'm losing my position. However, it works. So almost there, going through that. I did a lot of chopping earlier. A lot of chopping.
all these were branches right up here. I don't know where my dogs went. Oh, I see one of them. But, hold on, let me yell from all the way. Roscoe! Get up here. All right, there he is. So I did a whole lot of chopping earlier, and it was literally earlier. I was out here, and to have to come out and do this again, you know, I never mind coming to play with sticks. So I didn't have a place to put my camera down, so I was feather sticking just like this, and you can see how really, really nice that works. Even though, you know, I'm doing it in a very, very non-traditional way, it worked. One thing that impressed me was the saw. So let me put you guys in a place where you can see this. Now, sawing with it just slightly at an angle makes a really, really nice cut and a really easy cut. Look at this. Look at how smooth that cut is. Man, where is it? Right there. That is nice. I'm not going to go crazy because I already did this whole thing. And let me see. Wonder if I can stick you guys down somewhere. Possibly not. Possibly. All right, so I'm trying real hard to get you guys in a position where, yeah, why not? That's good. Let's see. Let's see here. Just trim that. We'll just trim that. All right. So, I mean, when we're talking about a survival knife, you're talking about a knife that's going to keep you alive in the bush. This one is going to be all right for, you know, a single camping trip that you won't have to do anything to it. Anything more than that, you're going to need to bring it home and sharpen it and do whatever else it's going to take. But if you went to Harbor Freight and you spent $9.99 on an emergency survival knife, something that, you know, you're out and about, you didn't realize you were going to be stuck somewhere, you're going to end up having to camp, but you didn't, let's say, you know, you were in a town where you had to drive to, somewhere, and Shelly's home, to go hiking, and then all of a sudden you realize you weren't going to be going back, so you were going to have to camp it overnight, and you needed a nice little survival knife. Spending $9.99 for a short camp, I'll tell you what, not bad. Not bad at all. So, I mean, that's it. I'm going to go and go inside because I hate this cold wind, and I probably have to help carrying groceries because I'm strong. So, that's it. My second time doing this knife today, but you guys only get to see it once. Harbor Freight survival knife, $9.99. Is it worth it for that money? Yes. Does that mean it's a great knife? No, but it's great for $9.99, I'll tell you that. So that's it. That's what we have. It's a little blurry, I know. I'm Donnie B all day. And until next dive. Whoop.